Hi students, today's video is on the introduction to C programming, that is 1BPLC105E, that is for first semester, and 205E for the second semester. This is your model question paper with answer and also with explanation. So the first question is here. The first question is what here? Define, question A, define algorithm outline, that is to convert temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius. This is for 8 marks. This is first you have to write, he has asked define algorithm. So you have to define algorithm, and algorithm is a finite set of well-defined step-by-step instruction used to solve a specific problem in a systematic and logic manner. So this is the definition for the algorithm. Now what is the algorithm here is the formula here is C is equal to 5 by 9 F minus 32. So what is the steps for the algorithm is step 1 start, declare the variable F and C. This is F and C. You have two variables, so you have to write declare variables F and C. Now next step is step 3, read the temperature in Fahrenheit F and then compute the Celsius using the formula. So input value you are taking only one value, that is F. And then what we are doing, you are calculating C, that is Celsius. That is the formula is 5 divided by 9 into F minus 32. Next step 5 is display the value of Celsius. Then step 6 is stop. Now this is what I have given is the general format of the algorithm. This you can just go through. If you want you can write or you can leave. So this is usually this question is for 8 marks. So the next question 5 marks. So that is define function, explain the basic structure of C programming. So first thing is you have to define function. This will be for the 1 mark, and explain the basic structure of C program will be for your 4 marks. So the basic structure of the C program, first one is documentation section, where you are writing the comment about the programs. That is you are using like this, no, double quote. You use this double quote like this. So this is whatever the text you are writing within in the comment line, or you can use one more is like this also you can use. This is also comment. This is the starting of the comment and this is the ending of the comment. So this is second one. The second section is your link section, where you are including your header files. That is you use include like this. You will use no stdio.h. So this is your that is include file. Okay, so this is what is the link section. Next is the definition section, where you are defining using define hashtag define, where you are defining the values. Next is global declaration. If you have any global declaration which you are calling, then you can declare global variables and function prototypes. So the next one is fifth, that is main, where you are writing your main function code, where your program starts. So this is your main function. So but this is also a keyword built-in function. So you're calling this, you're writing this function and you're starting to write your code. So before this is all is your declaration, that is calling of a header file, calling of the define, either you're defining or calling a header file, or you're using the comment line here where the program starts. So the first starts what you do. You open and close the bracket, then you declare the variable, then input, process statement, output statement, and return 0. Okay, so next last one is your user defined function section, where you can which contains function definition within the outside the main program. So this is for the 4 marks and this is for the 1 mark. So this is the definition of the function. So the next question is question number 1C. This is for 8 marks. Explain input and output function in C programming with suitable so this is question 1C. Explain input and output function in C programming with suitable example. This is for 8 marks. Okay, so input function, first you have to define input function. What is an input function? Input function are used to accept data from the keyboard. Example is your scanf, getchar, gets. So you can mute this video and you can go through and you can write down and you can practice it. Scanf. Usually in the program, I think you would have studied, we are using the scanf. You are using wherever the characteristics are there, characters are there. So first one is scanf, and then is your getchar, and then one is your gets. So example here is include, where you are calling stdio header file. This is where the program starts. See, this should come in the next line. I have made a PDF. I cannot change here now. So this is it should be in the this line should come down here. This is the starting of the program. This is just you're calling an header file where your input and output functions are being defined in this header file. So int is your return type for this program. What is the return type here is int. Last I will show you. Now this is where the program, your main code here. This is the last, and this is the return type. So the return type is what here is 0. So I'm declaring the function here. This is int num, and then I'm calling printf. This is just to display on the what is that, monitor. So this will ask you enter the number, and this is where the value has been taken from the keyboard and it has been saved in the variable called as num. So this is the return type is integer. So I have to use here %t, and this ampersand is to, it will tell you the memory. It will tell you, this will tell you this has to be, this value has to be stored in the memory location called as num, and the return type is 0. So this is the small example which has been used here. So next is, this is for the how you are taking the input value. Now this is the output function. So the output function is what your output functions are used to display the data on the screen. So the main functions what we are using, these all are built-in functions. So these are the keywords. Printf. Printf is mainly either to display the format. So mainly it is display the text or to display the output. So display the format on the screen. This uses the format specification like %t, %f, and %c and %s. Also you can use put char, display the single character, put s, display the string. So example here, print. So the example for the output function is include stdio.h. So again, this is, we are calling in a header file, integer, int variable, the name of the variable is num, return type is integer, and the value it has been given as 10. This what we are doing, we are printing the value, we are just printing the value 10. So the output of this program will give you number is equal to 10. So this is how you are using this specification %d, because the return type is integer and we are displaying the num. So the return type is 0. For this what you are using integer, the return type is 0. If I use void here, then you don't have to give this return value as 0. Open the bracket, close the bracket. So this is your question number 1C. Now next we'll go for the question number 2A. Explain the role of the flowchart. Explain the role of the flowchart in a program developed. List the symbol used in the designing a flowchart. Illustrate with an example. So this is again for the 7 marks. So this definition will give you 1 mark. This roles will give you 2 marks. This common symbol, if you explain, you are going to get 2 marks, and this flowchart, if you give, it will give you 7 marks. So they will divide each part, they will divide in the marks, and they will give you the total marks. So what is a flowchart? Flowchart is a visual graphical representation of that algorithm using standard symbol to depict the flow of the control and data together. They provide a blueprint with efficient and logic code, making the complex program easily to manage and debug. So to tell the user what is the flow, mainly the flowchart is to tell you what is the flow of the program, how it is starting, what you are doing, and how you are writing the code, and how it is executing. So that is what it is giving you, visualizing graphical representation. So these are the common symbols we are using. Oval, this one, start, where you are starting. This has been mainly used to either to start the program or end the program. Then parallelogram. So this one is the parallelogram, indicates the input output operation. Next is rectangular. This is the rectangular, contains the processing step such as calculations. This too. Then is the diamond shape. You can see the diamond shape here. So this will represent this will represent a decision point where the program takes different path based on true or false condition. This one, true or false, this one. So either if it is actually, they have not shown it will take the decision. If it is a true, it will tell yes. If it is a false, then it will tell no, yes or no. So like this it will go. Okay, so next is flow lines. These are the flow lines here. Can you see here? This is the flow line, this arrow mark, flow lines, and this is the example. Okay, where we are telling just start, read 3 numbers A, B, C, D, compute A plus B plus C. That means we are adding the 3 variables, and then what we are doing, we are computing means we are taking the average, then we are printing the average value. We are just printing the average value and we are stopping it. So this is your question 2. Next question is 2b. So this is for your 5 marks. List the program of C programming language. Explain the process of compiling and executing a C program. So this is for 5 marks. 5 marks. So you have to just list here. Okay, so this is what is the simple and the features of C programming language. So simple and structured we have. Then we have portable, efficient and fast, a rich library, modular programming, middle level program, pointer support. See, if you are not remembering also, students, you remember all these values and you would have listened in the lecture in the class also. So you can just give the explanation here, 2 to 3 lines like this. So simple and structured means uses the function to divide a program into model. Portable means program written in C can run in a different machine with a little modification. We can whatever we have written in a system A, it could be executed in the system B also. So efficient and fast means provide the fast execution and low level program access. And rich in library means we have so many built-in libraries like printf, scanf and many more are there. Okay, so here they have given only 2 examples. You can write these 2 examples or any other also you can write. So modular programming supports user-defined functions. Middle-level programming supports both high-level and low-level programming features. Then pointer supports allows the direct access memory. So these are the features, some of the features. Then you have dynamic memory allocation, then extendable, then case sensitive. That is upper and lower case are treated differently. Next is process. He has asked you the process of compiling and executing of the C programming. So you can just go through it. The first step is writing a program, that is nothing but editing. Next is pre-processing. Third one is compiling. Fourth one is linking. Then last one is the execution. So this is writing is the program can be written using text editor. And you can save it as with the C extension, for example, program.c. Pre-processing means pre-processing directives like include and define, hash define or preprocessed, removed comments and expand macros. So compilation means it will be converted into object file. So that is compile, translate C codes into machine language, that is nothing but object code which it can easily understand, that is nothing but machine language. Checks syntax error. If it is an error, it will give you the error, you have to correct and again you have to execute the program. Then after once you have rectified with the errors, then it will produce an object file and it will give you the extension as a .obj or .o. Then fourth point is your linking. It will be linked to the built-in library files and then it will generate an executive exe file in Windows. And the last step is execution. So the execution file is loaded into memory, the program runs and give the output. So this is about your question number 2b. Pause the video and you can just go through it, or you can just take the question whatever is given in your class, or you have studied whatever in the class, that also you can study. Okay, so the next question is 2ab. So this is for 7 marks. Define identifiers. List the rule for forming an identifier with an example for the each rule. So this identifier, so this will give you the 2 marks and this will give you the 3 marks. And again, if you have written some examples, then it will give you 2 marks if you write the examples. Okay, so identifiers, I think everyone knows, it is a user defined name which is given by entire like variable, functions or classes. So the purpose is to unifiably identify and refer the program elements. So this can be combination of the upper case, lower case, digital underscore, like must begin with the letter or an underscore. Underscore, in the special characteristics only underscore you can use, and you cannot use any keywords. So these are the defined keywords are the defined which you cannot change. But identifier is defined by the users. So that is something like I will give int total, int num. So this is nothing but your identifier. This is nothing but your identifier. So this total is in your identifier. Okay. So identifier which something like for name you are giving. For example, int A, int B. So that is your identifier. But keywords you cannot use. So keywords are built-in functions. So that's why you cannot use it. So if you use the keywords, it will give you the error. So next is rules. First instance, identifier must begin with the letters, that is capital A, to Z or small a to Z, or you can use underscore. So in the special characteristics, special function, what is that thing, you can use only underscore. Characters, special characters, you can use only underscore. Example, int total or int underscore count. Next is, an identifier must not start with the digit. Like for example, this is valid. Number 1 I can use like this, but I cannot use one number. So this is invalid. So third point is, an identifier contains only letters, digit and the underscore. So same thing, it is again, it has been repeated. So integer student underscore number or integer marks 2. Next, special characteristics, these are all not valid. Not valid. So this is valid and this is invalid. What you can use is only you can use underscore. So keywords cannot be used as an identifier. Example, sum, int or sum, print, sum, scan, print, main. These all are invalid. So only this is valid and this is not valid. It cannot be, the concept is identifiers cannot be, keywords cannot be used as identifier. Next, these are case sensitives. So this is totally different and this is totally different. So sometimes what will happen, all the program will be correct, only where somewhere I would have used small t and somewhere I would have, for the same value I would have used a capital T. Because of that you are going to get an error. So next is, the length of the identifier should be reasonable, generally up to 31 significant characters. Example, this is the example. Okay. So this is your model 2, this is your model 1. One question. So in model 1 you have totally 6 questions. In question 1 you have 1 ABC, and in question 2 you have 2 ABC. Next is your model 2. In model 2 you have here we have 3A, question number 3A. Explain the following operators. In that you have to tell what is first one, increment, decrement operators, and the second one you have logic operators. So increment and decrement you can it will be given as what is that, 4 marks. 4 marks, this is for 4 marks, and logical operators will be for the 4 marks. So for 4 marks it will be 8 marks. So first we will see increment and decrement. Increment means plus plus, usually it will be plus plus. Moinuddin, please Moinuddin, मैं वीडियो बना रही हूँ, आवाज़ करो नको. Increment means it will be plus plus, and decrement it will be minus minus. So this is increment and this is decrement. For the increment example, if I give here x, integer x is equal to 5, now after execution of the increment the x will be having the value of 6. If I use a decrement, that is this is how I am going to first initialize the value of integer y is equal to 5, y is equal to minus y, minus minus means it will give you the output as y is equal to 4. So this is decremented and this is incremented. Next is logical operators. In logical operators, these are the combinations we have. First one is logical AND, 2 ANDs you have to write, and then this is logical OR, 2 lines you have to write. Logical NOT, then here is the example, logical AND. If condition 1 and condition 2 both are true, then this will be executed. Otherwise it will go for the next condition. Next, this one, logical OR means any one condition should be true. Here you can give one example which has been given in your notes. Take the example and you can write an example for this also, because it is for 8 marks. For this also you have to write an example, and this also for you have to write one example. Write down one example. So logical NOT means it will give you inverts the Boolean algebra, and it will give you this. For this you people it will be in your notes, or you can just search it. For this also you please write down one example, and this is also you write down the example. This is not enough because it is for 8 marks. Next is question number 3B. Explain the else if ladder with the syntax and suitable example. So this is for 6 marks. So if so the explanation for this ladder, it will give you for 2 marks, and the program will be for the 4 marks. This is how they will divide the values. So if condition, open the bracket, you have to write the condition if it is true. If it is not true, it will go to else if condition. Again it will check the condition here. If it is true, it will go here. Else, if it is not true, it will again come to else if. Like this it will go, it will check, and lastly if it is correct, then if it is, it will tell this is true and this is false. Now this is the program here. develop a program to find a roots of quadratic equation. So first what we are doing, we are including a direct header file that is stdio. In this we have printer, that is input and output function has been defined here, that is printf and scanf. That's why we have to use this header file. Then we have include math dot, because we are using a square root here, that's why we are using here int main float abc. So this is declaring the variable. So float a, float d, root 1 and root 2, this is the variables. Next what we are doing here actually you make a enter here, it is in the next line. This is printf, enter the coefficient abc, and please enter here also. This is again, it has to come in the second line. Next line, that is scanf. So this will give you the text, and it will be displayed. So it will be asking for the value of abc. You have to give the abc value here. So once you give the ABC value, it will be taken as, for example, if you have given A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2 and C is equal to 2. So that will be saved in the memory location A, B and C, because you are using an ampersand sign here. Okay, then it will do the calculation. Here also you have to make an enter. It will go to the next line. Otherwise it will treat it as a comment line here. So as I have made a PDF here, I cannot here. So this is in the new line, this is also a new line, and this is also printf, it has to come into the new line. Okay, next is this if also has to come into the new line. So this if d is greater than 0, then this condition will be applied, else it will come to this line. So printf roots are real and distinct. Okay, so this is the example. Bench. So next print, what we are doing, this here we are printing this root 1 and root 2. Then we are checking the condition if d is equal to 0. If d is equal to 0, this condition, this will be printed, else it will come here. Else again it will check for this condition and it will print, and lastly it will print all the values here. Okay, so return 0, as we have used their int what is that, main open and close the bracket, so we have to use here return 0. So 3c, what is the program here? Outline the syntax of a switch statement given an integer between 1 to 7 representing a days of week. Develop a program to display day in words using the switch statement. Okay, example is for number 1 print Sunday, and for the number 7 print Saturday. So this is for 6 marks, and you have to use switch statement. So switch statement is very nice statement actually. So the condition, the switch statement in C is a control flow statement that allows for multi-way decision making, providing an alternative to a long if-else chain when comparing a single variable or expression against multiple constant values. So this is the syntax here. Switch expression, case 1, break. Again case 2, the statement will be executed here, break. And lastly default, this is the default, this is the last statement, and close the bracket. So this is the starting of the syntax, that is switch statement, and this is the ending of the switch statement. Here is the example here. Example program, again include io.h int main integer, what we are displaying day. If it is 1 means I have to display Sunday. So a day we have taken, you can take any other value also, integer day. Print, enter the number from 1 to 7. If it, whatever the value they have printed here, according to that it will be taken here. So this is the value. If I give here 1, this 1 will be saved in the day. Next it will come to the switch statement, it will check which day. If it is 1, then case 1, then it will print the Sunday, and it will come out of the program, break. It will come out of the program only. If this condition is not there, if the user has given 2, then it will go to 2, it will check here, it will check this is not the true, then it will come to the case 2, it will print Monday, then it will give you break. Next, if you have given 3, like that it will continue till 7. So the input you can give it till 7. If it is 7, then it will print Saturday. Other than any value which has been given other than 7, for example 8, 9 or 10, so it will print invalid input, please enter number between 1 to 7, and it will come out of the program and it will return 0. Next, the question is 4a. 4a, this is again for 8 marks. Show the evaluation order of the following expression with intermediate and the final value. So this is the thing here. So 100 divided by 20 less than or equal to 10 minus 5 plus 100 percentage 10 minus 20 equal 5 greater than equal 1 up what is that exclamatory mark, that is not function, that is equal 20. So this is for 8 marks. So this is I have written here, so you can just go through it, all these expressions. Okay, so step by step we have written here. So this is your 4a final answer. Okay, so we'll go for the 4b. So you can pause here this 4a and you can just go through. I think this is calculations everyone can do, division, percentage, everything, modulus, everything. So that's why I'm going for the next question. So that is 4b. So 4b is again is this is for 6 marks. So what he has asked, differentiate between entry control loop and exit control loop. So these are the basic comparisons. This is the entry loop, control loop and exit control loop. So definition is what? A loop in which the condition is checked before the executing the body of the loop. So this is before the entering the loop, this condition is going to happen. This is after, so the loop in which the condition is checked after executing the body of the loop. So the condition checking is what? Beginning. So condition is tested at the beginning of the loop, condition is tested at the end of the loop. So minimum execution is what here? 0 time. So this is, you can see here, the body loop, the loop body may execute 0 times if the condition is false initially. The body, what is this? The body loop executes at least once regardless of the condition. This is the control. Example is what? Your for loop, while loop, do loop. So here it is do while loop. Okay. So next suitable example is uses when the number of iteration is known or condition must be checked first. So this is the suitable here. So if you know any example here, the example, small example for this, what is this? Your exit. This one, entry control. Please write down. You can write down the example for this if you know, small example for this also. So the next question is 4c. 4c, develop a C program to find the sum of first n number using a while loop. This is very good program actually. This is for 6 marks. So first you have to give the definition for the while loop. So what is a while loop? While loop in C programming is a control flow statement that allows a block of code to be repeatedly executed as long as specified condition remains true. It is entry control loop, the meaning the condition is evaluated before the loop body is executed. So here is the syntax: while, condition check, open the bracket, close the bracket. So this is the program. Include #include std.h. So this has to come down. This has to come in this line. So make a entry here, enter. So integer main, open the bracket, close, int I is equal to 1, sum is equal to 0. This is the declaration of the variable. Variable because we have to have the sum of the first n numbers. So next, this is the print statement where you are enter the value. So this will be always, the print statement will be always in the double quote and it will be ended with the semicolon. Next is scanf. So take the value of the n from the keyboard. So as the integer is int here, so I will use %t. If the data type is float here, then I will use %f. If I'm using double, then I will use long f. So this is ampersand is must here. Don't forget to write the ampersand. So this is, if you write the ampersand, then the value will be stored in this memory location by the name n. So next is you are checking the condition while I is equal to less than or equal to n. Then it will start whatever the value. For example, the value you have given 1. Then first value of sum is 0. So sum is equal to 0. Then it will take it as 0 plus 1. So 0 plus 1, 1. And then it will be incremented I plus plus. This you can see I will become 2 here. So this will go again back to the loop. it will check again the condition, it is less than or equal to n. Yes, it is less than or equal to n because I has the value of 2. But now sum is what? Sum is how much here? It is 1. So 1, it will go 1 is equal to, sum is how much here? 1 plus 2. So this becomes 3, and this 3 will be saved in the sum. Again it will be incremented. How much was the I? I was 2. Then again it will be incremented. So 2 plus 1, 3. So 3 means it will again check. So what is the value of n here? So whatever the value you have given here. So if you have given 3, then it will check till 3. If you have given here 4, then it will check till 4. So then it will add, and lastly it will come once it is lesser than or equal to n. For example, if it is 3 lesser than, it will come out and it will print the value here and it will give you return 0, close the bracket. So this is your question number 4C. Model 3. Question number 5A, define string, develop a program to read string, reverse the string and print. So this is a definition here. A string is a string in C is a collection of characters stored in a character array and terminated by the null character, that is /0. Okay, so this is the definition of the string, 1 mark. Example, char string, open and close the bracket. This is how you define an array. So how many arrays will be there here? 10 means you can specify from, you can give the values from 0 to 9. So string 0, string 1, string 2, like that it will take the values. So how many values you can define here is 10 values. So this is the example. Now this is the program where you can read, reverse and print. So integer, main, open and close the bracket. Now this is flower bracket, this is the opening of the program. This is the declaration, this is the print, and this is how you are taking the input from the keyboard. Now this is what you are taking the value one by one, because it's not one value you can define. You can take the value till 100 values you can take. So every time it will take the value, it will increment, it will take the value, increment, it will take the value, increment. Then for the reversing, this is the operation here. Reversing of the string. So for that we are using here for loop, I is equal to 0, I less than divided by 2 plus plus plus. First whatever the values you have taken here, it will be from the string, it will be putting into one more variable called as temp here. From there temp, and then again from this one more value, this value it will be taken from the second value, will be stored in the string value, this one, and then again it will be incremented, and this is the closing and opening and closing of the loop. And lastly you have to print f, reverse string and return 0. This return 0 here the return 0. Okay, so this one is for int. So here you have using int here, that's why we have to use here return 0. Okay, so the next question is 5B. This is for 6 marks. Define array and list the type of arrays. So this is again the definition of the array. This is one dimensional. This is how you are going to define one dimensional array. Int a, open and close bracket 5 means you can give 5 values here. That is, they have given here 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Okay, so a of 0 means it will take it as first value, a of 1 means it will take second value, a of 2 means it will take third value, that is 30, a of 4 means it will take this value. So 0, a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3 and a of 4. So this is again this is how you are defining the two-dimensional array. So in one-dimensional array only one value you have taken. In two-dimensional array they have taken the same name, same identifier, int a, 2, int and 3. So this matrix is 2 cross 3. So this is how the value has been defined here. Okay, so the first value, first row, second column. So this is 6th value. This is how it has been defined. So next 5C. 5C, develop a program to multiply n into n matrix. Again include std. This is the header file where you are including starting of the program. This is initializing the values n, i, j, k. Here they have taken two-dimensional array. First is 10 cross 10. This is again 10, 10, 10 cross 10. Again for the storing result they have taken 10 into 10. That is 10 cross 10. Okay. So printf. This is just to display the value. Here whatever the values you are giving, the value of n, it will be saved in the memory location n. Again printf, enter the value of the first matrix. Then for loop. This is the for loop to take the values. This is to take the values, whatever the values you are giving, it will be stored in A of ij. That is nothing but I is equal to 10 here, and whatever the values you have given here, and j is equal to 10 here. Okay, so this is what this matrix and this matrix. Next is what print. This is what you are taking the second matrix here. Second matrix, enter the elements of the second matrix. For this again a for loop here. Here I have used I, so here we are using j. Okay, so j is equal to 0. Here we have used I, j. So this is the scanf where whatever the values you have given, it will be storing in the matrix B of ij. So this one, B of ij. So again for loop for the result, for what is that, multiplying and storing this one. So this for loop for taking the first value for first matrix, that is A I of j. This for loop is taking for the second matrix, that is B of j, result 0. Again for adding, multiplying one by one, it will be multiplied, again incremented, again multiplied, it will multiply till it takes the value n is less than k is less than n. So till it will multiply and it will store it in this variable called as result. So this matrix result. And then lastly you are going to print the value. For the printing the value, it is not one value. Again for the, if you have more than one value, then we are using a for loop here. You are printing the values, then next line, print the value, it will go to the next line. For the new line, for the next value, it has to go to the new line and then print. So return 0. So next 6a, question number 6a, same way, develop a program to find the length of the string without using a built-in function. This one. Okay, so you can go through it. Main, declaration, initialization, print statement, get character. Here we have using while loop. First it is using /0 here, that is to empty. You're checking it is empty or what. If it is empty, then increment, length increment, again increment. Okay, so length, you're just checking the length now. So we are using a inbuilt function length plus, that is increment. We are using here increment. Then after this we are printing it and return 0. So next program, next question 6b, explain the declaration, initialization and two-dimensional array with suitable example. So this is how we are initializing. This is what the values are being given. Again two-dimensional initialization and declaration. Next question number 6c, develop a program to read n numbers and find the sum of average n using an array. So this is again for 8 marks. This is the program. Almost same explanation is there. You can just go through. Main program, initialization, int and float both they have taken, because once you find the average and sum, you may get an answer in the float. That's why they have taken these two values in float. Again integer to save the value, print, scanf taking the input, again print. As it is more than one value, they have used here for loop, scanf for the taking the value, average, and then print the sum and average, then return 0. So next is model 4, question number 7a, define function in C, justify the need and user of the function in C with suitable program. So define, definition, then we have syntax here, then need of the user define. Next, here example is there. Example, you can see squaring of the example. This is the function you are writing outside the main program and you are calling it here. This is the function you are calling here. This function you are calling here. Okay, so next 7b, write a program with an example, no arguments and no return values of a function. So here this is what the simple program here. Okay, you can go through it. Again 7c, develop a C program to perform arithmetic operation plus minus / into using a user defined function. So this is the program here. This is again for 6 marks. So first is add, whatever the value you have taken, add here, add. So this will return add. This is for subtraction, this is for multiplication, and this is for division. This is passing the parameters. So here whatever the parameters you are getting, it will be added here and it will return the values. It will be subtracted here and it will be returning the value. This values it will be taken, multiplied, written. division and return. So now this is the program where you are calling it. The main program starts here. So whatever the values, integer xy, print, enter the two values. So whatever the values you are giving there, whatever the x value it has been given, so this will be saved in A, and whatever the y value it has been given, it will be saved in B. So all the values will be called here. The function is called here. See here, add x value will be transferred to A, and y value will be transferred to B. It will be added and it will return the value and it will display. Same with the subtraction, multiplication and division. So return 0. So next, list 8a, list and explain the various elements of user defined function. It's here. First one is function declaration. Next is int add. This is again function. Next, name of the function and initialization of the function. Function definition, int add, return, function call, result and return statement parameters. Okay. So next, 8b, what is a nested function? Explain with the example. So this is what the nested function and example. 8b. 8c, develop a suitable program having a function with arguments and no return values. So this is the program. Again, include file. This is the function, built-in function. This is the user function defined function. We are using void because the return type is nothing. So that's why we are using here. This is the name of the function. This is the arguments what we are passing. So integer sum a plus b, print sum, whatever you have added. So this will be printed. So this is the main function. Main function. See arguments. This is with arguments and no return. So no return, no. That's why we have used here void. So integer main, then int xy, print, again scanf, taking the value, display sum. We are calling this function. So these values, x will be saved in A, y value will be saved in B, added and then printed and return 0. So close the bracket. So this is the starting of the program. This is the ending of the program. Same way, model 5. Define structure, explain the general format of a suitable definition. Structure definition, this is the definition. This is how the structure has been defined. The name, this is the keyword, and this is the user defined function. Open and close, integer, roll, and this one, character name, float, marks. So this is the format. This is the just format how you have to call, and this is the example. 9b. Define pointer, illustrate and declaration and initialization of the pointer variable. This is again 6 marks. This is the definition. This is the declaration, initialization, and then this is the values. So 9c, I have hold it. You can stop it and you can go through it. 9c. Then this is 10a. 10a. 10b and 10c. 10b, 10c. So this is your model question paper. Hope you students, this will be helpful for you. Please comment